Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the retirement ceremony in honor of Lieutenant Colonel Samantha Nerove. Our host for today's ceremony is the Army Chief Information Officer G6, Lieutenant General Susan S. Lawrence.
What a great day to be a soldier. Ambassador Wolfowitz, thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy schedule for being here for the ceremony, recognizing Sam, but more importantly, for your work that you do with Wounded Warriors as well. We're honored to have you here.
It's an honor to be with them. Thank you.
Thank you. My deputy, Mr. Mike Krieger, extraordinaire leader in our department that is just moving our Army so far along with some other huge wins that we just recently had. Mike, thank you so much for your hard work and dedication. His wife Shirley, thank you for being here as well. To my fellow general officers, it's great to see you. Thanks for being here today. To Jim, Hannah, Mom and Dad, and I want to thank you for giving me this honor to preside over this ceremony. It's hard to capture one's career in such a few minutes to get people to understand your commitment, your sacrifices that you have made to a very, very grateful nation over your 25 years. Now, I always, when I start my research, I look at how this all started. You know, what brought Sam into the military? And it's actually pretty funny. So I hope you don't mind that I'm going to embarrass you a little bit, share some things here, not about ROTC, more not about serving, but more about, you know, learning about the military, some knowledge, just doing something different. And so she decided, actually she let the last day of the course that you can drop your course go by, and she forgot to drop the course. Whoa. So she found herself in the ROTC program. And as she said, the instructor showed up and handed them all a pile of green clothes and said, you need to wear these on Friday. And so Sam, just in her normal diplomatic way, declined wearing the uniform until she was informed that she would fail if she didn't wear her uniform. Now, I would just love to have a picture of this. So think circa 1985 Madonna. And here's Sam with Farrah Fawcett hair, out to here and always down. And they gave her this headgear to wear, and she just was not going to squish her hair and put that thing on. So she flattens it and kind of tilts it on her head. Oh. And that's her headgear. Oh. And then before fashionista was in style, she was a fashionista. So she decides to color code her green uniform with pink, her favorite color. So if you can imagine this, she's got this ugly, drab, brown t-shirt on, which she immediately puts over a pink laced shirt. And there's these strings at the bottom of the uniform she doesn't know what to do with, so she ties them in a bow and decides to wear pink leggings, so it shows from the bottom of her uniform to her boots. And then, of course, there's the fingerless pink lace gloves that she wears. And she even found a pair of pink and green earrings to seal her uniform. And immediately marched into class Friday with her uniform on. And needless to say, there was a number of stares and more stares and comments, and the instructors weren't quite sure what to do with her. But that's where she fondly earned her nickname, Army Barbie. And she did get her commission. And the good news is the Army was a good fit for Sam. And she did learn how to follow the uniform regulations. Now we're going to talk about the circle of Sam's career here a little bit, and I'll come back to that one. She put herself in harm's way 3 different times on 3 different deployments. First in Saudi Arabia in Operation Desert Shield, Desert Storm. Then again in Bosnia on Operation Joint Endeavor. And of course her most recent deployment to Baghdad in Operation Iraqi Freedom. And it wasn't that she didn't have and face daunting challenges, she often did. And I remember the related story of when she was serving in Saudi Arabia. And in the early 90s, having a woman leader on the battlefield wasn't a common sight at that point in time. But she loved it. She was responsible for installing, operating, maintaining the network that was in support of 18th Airborne Corps. And she was out one day getting ready to go visit her site, so she jumps in her vehicle, she takes off, only to be chased down by a local national waving a gun and runs her off the road, because the audacity of a woman driving in Saudi Arabia is just beyond the imagination. So as I said, we're going to kind of go in a circle here of the 25 years. So we're proud that Sam was commissioned in the Signal Corps and that we let her wander off and do other jobs and functions. But it has been recently that we've brought her back into the Signal Corps with the CIO G6 team, and we appreciate all the support that she has given us as she's worked through this. I had talked to her about her experiences recently, and I think most of you know that she was medevac back out of Iraq to Walter Reed, and went through some challenging couple years here as we were working with the invisible injuries of a wounded warrior that many of them face with post-traumatic stress disorder. But she is a strong, resilient leader and soldier that has done extremely well and has taken opportunities during that time. For example, she is working on an application for our wounded warriors that you can use your smartphone and track where you are in the transition process of being evaluated and discharged. We were having many challenges with the Integrated Disability Evaluation System, formerly known as IDES, and we jumped on that and said, how can we help that process? How can the network help enable the process of evaluating a wounded warrior and getting them to their benefits faster as we're going through that? And so our team is doing a lot of work with that. So I asked Sam to spend time on the CIO G6 and explain to them her personal experience, and that has been absolutely invaluable to us. But that's Sam. She just wanted to continue to serve. So as I said, she started in the Signal Corps. We're bringing her back to the Signal Corps. She started a fashionista. She ends a fashionista. I'd like you all to demonstrate the regulation here, the uniform regulation for Louboutins. Go ahead, show them.
Oh my God.
This is full circle. Show So as Mom says, she just kind of goes a little bit farther.
Well, the regulation says nothing about the sole of the shoe. It doesn't. I mean, all regulation covers everything. So I am in regulation. It says nothing about the red bottom.
And to you, Sam, congratulations on an extremely successful career. I thank you personally for all that you have done for our men and women across this career. And I wish you the very best in retirement. You've earned it. You deserve it. Congratulations. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant Colonel Retired Samantha Nerove.
Yay!
Wow, and I'm shaking, and let me just catch my breath for a sec here. Thank you, and thank you. Every single person in here means something to me. Every single person. And I want to talk about each of you. And I want to share with each of you just how much you mean. General Lawrence, you came into my life when I needed an example of where to go, who to follow, and direction, who to be. And you gave me that. Because as a wounded warrior, it's easy to get lost. And when I came back from Baghdad and I was at Walter Reed, yeah, it was tough. It was really tough. And there were people along the way who just picked me up, dusted me off, and kept me going. Sometimes I'd fall down again. Sometimes I'd pick myself up by my bootstraps, keep going, and sometimes I needed other people to help me. General Lawrence, you were one of those people, and she just put her arm around me, took me right back into the CIO G6 and said, yeah, there's no free lunch here, girlfriend. Get to work. And I did. Sergeant Major Bradshaw, We shared mortar attacks in Baghdad. We ate when the attack stopped, and we survived, and we're both here. And we both have the invisible injuries, and we are both going to drive on. Armand Caron, I wouldn't be standing here if it wasn't for Armand. Armand saved my life. In Desert Storm, I would not be standing here if he hadn't stepped in and saved my life at his own peril. Colonel and Mrs. Robinson, Jim and Fran, you have been the moral compass of my career, and you haven't known this, but you have been in every promotion ceremony I have ever had. I have thanked you every time I've been promoted, because you were the guiding light for me. You were the direction and the moral compass. And when I ever questioned what I needed to do, what would Colonel Robinson do? And the decision was easy after that. Thank you. What an amazing family I have. Seriously, what General Lawrence said about my mom and dad, true. It wasn't, you can do anything. It was, of course you can do anything. There were, like she said, no boundaries. Amazing. An amazing brother over here on the end. My brother was just inducted into my high school's first Hall of Fame. He was the wrestler who set the standard. He went on to West Point. He was an All-American wrestler. Amazing. He's absolutely amazing. Part of why he's so amazing is my dad is so friggin' amazing. My dad was the coach. My dad is the father to so many people that say thanks to him. I've got high school friends because they don't say, "Hey Sam, how you doing?" "Hey Sam, how's your dad?" I've also been blessed with an amazing aunt who is my friend and my second cousin. Jean Hansen, Jim's mom, has stepped into my life and become a dear friend she's exactly who a mother should be. So I don't need to call her a mother-in-law or a mother in anything. I just get to call her my friend, who happens to be Jim's mom. And my mom is a fighter. Okay, she might not look like one, but I'll tell you, this is one vicious lady. So just step out of her way. Because when she had breast cancer, man, I'll tell you, she was a rock star. I flew back 1 week every month from Germany to go through chemo with her. And she just looked at me like, "Yeah, really? Like I need you?" You know, I think I was more worried about her than she was worried about herself. She's that person. Mom. Hannah. If I could pick a daughter, Hannah, stand up. I would pick Hannah. She is the most amazing young lady I could ever hope to know. I love you, Hannah. I love you, and I'm impressed by you every step of the way, everything I know about you. And I am just grateful that I get to know you. And this is for you.
I'm not sure, but I think you just got inducted into the Fashionista Hall of Fame.
Little Tiffany's, yeah. And last but not least is this guy right here. Amazing. You know, people say, "Oh yeah, you know, I've got my best friend." Hey, the dude's my best friend. Seriously. He's my best friend. He's my confidant. He's my pain in the butt. He's the guy I go adventuring with. He's the guy I whisper sweet technology nothings to. It's serious. I mean, he's a PC. I'm a Mac. We argue. He talks smack about Mac, my iPhone, and I say, I don't care.
You gotta make sure your firewall and everything.
Yeah, okay. But he's the guy who, when I have flashbacks, and I'm lying on the floor in a fighting position, he knows to stay away. But there are flashbacks sometimes when he knows to just put a hand on my shoulder and tell other people to stay away. He's my friend. He's the great love of my life. And I wouldn't be here able to stand and talk to everybody here without him. And I just want to say thank you. And I have a little something for you. But I couldn't have got it through the security checkpoint because we're not allowed to carry guns or knives. So, there are a few gun shows here locally, and we are going to go pick out your gun of choice. Because I'm lucky enough, my partner was a Special Forces weapons sergeant, so I've got that guy right there, and that is going to be for you, because I love you, and thanks for being my friend. I am grateful to have had the opportunity to serve. I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change a thing. Having invisible energy sucks, but I wouldn't change it, because if that's the price I had to pay for serving my country, I would pay it again and again and again, because there is no greater thing to do than serve. So thank you, all of you, for the opportunity to be your friend, to be your family, and to be your colleague. Thank you.